Alright, welcome to day 4 of the Vera Series. Hopefully you're getting really close to reaching level cap. I ended up doing some of the story yesterday and I got quite a bit of experience, so I strongly recommend that you do the story, because again, tomorrow we should reach that level 80 cap, and you want to try to get there sooner rather than later. So starting out, you want to go to your artificial island, and then you want to go back to build, and then you want to hit claim because you can only hold these resources for 24 hours. And since it's Monday, that means our enemies have responded. I recommend that you do this today since 2.1 comes out tomorrow, and you might kind of forget about your island doing all the 2.1 stuff. On top of that, don't forget about your exchange store. You want to buy your weekly items. And if you have enough resources, you might want to go ahead and buy those monthly items as well, especially since Lin is coming out tomorrow, so trying to get some of these special vouchers may help. Next, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, and you want to do your daily bounties for the day. And I'm going to go with Vera again. And next we got Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to Bracers, Chest, and a Shiro Matrix. On top of that, we can do the in-game. Now, these are not really the greatest JOs, and I still recommend that you try to get weapon materials, especially if you're going for Lin, which brings us to Interstellar Exploration. So of course, you want to check Vera as well as the Spera, so that way you get all of your Stargates. And a good way to tell if you have level 3 Stargates is if this weapon battery category has a number 3, it's a level 3 Stargate, and if it has a number 2, it's a level 2 Stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you can always do Dimensional Trials, and if you need money, you could always do Space-Time Domains. But again, I still recommend that it might not be bad to go ahead and have max Omnium Beacons, so that way you can push towards 80 much easier. Then we have our optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters, and the best way to do that is by going to the black market, see this island and doing the claw machine, and doing your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is doing your 6 fun zones and knocking out your 6 Greyspace fishers. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Then we got events, starting with Childlike Innocence. So on the 5th day, we get the maximum points, which is 2,000 points, which ironically, that is enough to buy out the whole store. But they did have this elemental ore shard box, so I mean, if you bought any of these, you might be in trouble because you're not going to be able to buy out the store. So I'm not sure if tomorrow we're going to get an increase of bubbles or if that's it. So hopefully you're able to buy everything in the shop. But then we got the really big news, and that is the announcement of when patch 2.1 is coming out. So it does look like it is coming out on the server reset tomorrow, and we are getting access to quite a bit of things. So I wanted to point out a few things that I noticed. So of course we're getting the tactical goggles, which is going to upgrade our gear, but then we have an extra titanium pack that they're adding to the store to where it's going to be 2280, and it says we can get some vehicles. I really hope that's just not vehicles and we actually get a lot of rows and whatnot, but we'll see. Then I guess they added in a rookie growth pack to help wanderers catch up and get them gear, so hopefully they do get enough stuff to help their CS, because I know that's been a big issue for a lot of people. Then they fixed some pretty big issues. We had the memory leak problem caused by DLSS. There's also the problem where you could not cut off DLSS, and then a couple other problems that they were able to fix as well. And our compensation for that is 300 dark crystals. But they also gave us a little bit more information. We have the 2.1 event preview to where they go into more detail about what we're getting in 2.1. So they talk about the new event, Starwave Night. They talk about phase 1 right here. What we have to do is open up password chests, and I'm pretty sure we need to perfect decipher, so I would not use any password chests today and just wait till tomorrow to start opening things on the Vera map. Then we get another supply run, but here's something that actually ended up being pretty interesting. They talked about the Lin limited banner. So for the Lin limited banner, they said they greatly increased the chance for you to pull Lin and also her matrices. So I don't know if this is more than usual or they're just saying that's generally how it is. On top of that, they did mention that she is a special limited order character. So I think what they're trying to say here is that eventually we're going to get some reruns, and probably after those reruns, those characters will be added to the standard pool. But Lin will never be added to the standard pool, even if she gets a rerun. But it seems like it does get better. On top of that, while we're rolling for Lin and her matrices, there's going to be special rewards that we can automatically claim. I'm assuming these are extra rolls and matrices, so we might be able to get Lin pretty easily with all this happening at the same time. Then we have the gacha event. I've already told you about how I feel about that. It's going to have some crazy rewards because it does not look like they want to lower down the cost of this at all. It's still going to cost you 100 dark crystals to buy a coin. That means you need 94 coins, so that's 9,400 dark crystals. So again, I just don't think that's worth, especially for an outfit for one character. But if you enjoy these daily guys, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way they can spread more on YouTube. Then next we got the weekly tab. Now I already mentioned yesterday that we want to save our type 3 keys because we're going to be able to use these on new world bosses, which allow us to get those new eyepieces, even though I used up all my keys and I still haven't got a combat engine. But hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be better in 2.1. But on top of that, since we are getting a new event, which basically wants us going around opening up password chests, I recommend that you just save all of your password chips until tomorrow, which brings us to our challenges. So if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to use your Mia's Kitchen to power yourself up, starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So I was able to get rank 1 last week after I had such a high sequential score. And then again, I recommend that you take a look at this weapon bonus. If you have a good weapon bonus, you most likely want to try to either do this sneak to next level, and if your CS is high enough, you can jump up 11 levels. But for me, I got to do it naturally. So now I definitely want to try to take advantage of these weapon bonuses every day. The main thing that's going to determine your score is the sequential phantasm. So I do recommend that you go ahead and try to get a high score here because that's going to really determine your rank. But tomorrow is Lin, and Lin can work in all of these chambers. So you might as well wait until after Lin is released. Frontier Clash. So for this week, at least on my server, Physical is the one that got hurt. So sorry, Claudia mains, but at the very least, it's not Volt or Ice for most people. Void Rift. We got another attempt today. So go ahead and knock that out so that way you got that chance for that matrice. And this is a first time boss for you. You definitely want to do it. And the Wormhole. Now we only have 2 days left to do this. You could wait until Lin comes out, but again, like I said, there's going to be a lot of things to do at 2.1, so having to do the Wormhole as well might hurt. Then we got the raids. Now I want to give a big warning right here. Make sure that you only do these last two on heroic because we should be getting level 80 tomorrow. And once we reach level 80, we can do heroic in the battle test area. And Apex League. If you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. Next, we got our daily buys. So you want to go to shop, hot, then buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it. Then we have the proof of purchase. Now again, this is mainly for whales, mainly dolphins, and depending on what standard matrices you have on your account. So if you already have a good set of standard matrices, you might want to pass on this. But if not, you can go ahead and try to get it. Which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust Store. So of course you want to buy your advancement modules, your booster modules, and your Vera special gift for the week. And when it comes to your potent omnium crystal, we do get enough to reach an 8.3 suppressor through Vera expiration and Greyspace alone. So you could probably just go ahead and pass on this. But what else you can do with your crystal dust is get boots, and if you have a good pair of boots, then you can get hand guards, and if you have a good pair of hand guards, then you can buy whatever else you want. Space Time Store. Now we reach 2.1 tomorrow, and this store will be updated. So I just recommend that you just save everything for now. Cruise Store. Now the only thing that I recommend that you spend your points on are relic shards, and the relics that I recommend are Space Time Rift, unless you have a level 3, or Omnium Shield. So I'm going to buy all of these this week. Support Store. You want to make sure you buy your 3 joint supply chips for the week. And if you can, try to buy your proof of purchase and your gold nucleus for the week using return support points. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. And Point Store. Now the only thing I recommend that you spend your points on are Aspera special gifts, so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or Cetus Island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. But besides that, I just recommend that you reach level cap, and if you've got time, explore Vera. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out my ultimate buyer's guide. But other than that, talk to you guys later.